Under the provisions of the California Government Code, the City Council may not discuss or take action on any item that is not on the agenda.
Is there any members of the audience at this time that wish to make any kind of public comment?
Eric Lee, 1199 Atwater Boulevard, Atwater, California. Mayor, Council, the first question I have is why the rush to have a meeting, and why is it an emergency meeting? At first I was kind of hopeful because I thought this might deal with the previous CalPERS problem we had and a way to bring that back and possibly mitigate it. Imagine my surprise when I found out it had nothing to do with that, but about something else. Something that on the surface might have been done in regular session next year, but wasn't. Second question I have is a bit more involved. I must say that I have to congratulate those who called this meeting on the thoroughness of their agenda. It is well laid out, and knowing the short period of time the three of you had to prepare it, it seems quite thorough. But I have to ask, when did you meet to discuss this on how you were going to prepare for this meeting? It appears with all of the detail here and the planning for this, it could not have happened in just 24 hours. You must have had this in the planning stages prior to the meeting on Monday. And if so, why was none of it brought up then? I understand personnel issues are handled behind closed doors, but your obvious concerns about the city manager quoted in the newspaper means that you could have brought it up Monday night and addressed it then. Finally, I have to ask this question. If the position of interim city administrator was the worst kept secret in Atwater, where was the city attorney on this? And how did he advise you? I am sure that he felt any contract agreement would be legal and advise you of that in closed session, right? Again, the need for transparency is still there. Hopefully we'll see more of that going forward. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to address the council?
Danny Hernandez, 1904 Canal Drive here in Atwater. What I see in the internet communication here over the last 24 hours is a hell of a black eye from the standpoint of that going on. I think the new people on the city council are entitled to ask the questions, and the mayor has a responsibility to respond to these people that are new on the city council. And if I remember correctly, I asked Mr. Price back in April about an article that appeared in the Merced County television. And he indicated, that he didn't like those people. It seems like, by virtue of what I've read, you're happily on this direction again. I don't think it's appropriate for you to address the new incoming city council members by virtue of the adjectives that you used of lion and so forth and so on. That's not the way you're supposed to treat your people, and that's not the way it's going to happen. And if this kind of stuff keeps up, I'm going to start a move to recall you, Mr. Price, because the functions of this city council is to do the best for this city. And I would hope that you would communicate, and if you cannot pick up the phone or answer an email in the middle of the night, then maybe you shouldn't be the city mayor. Give it to somebody else that will do it. That's all I got to say about it right now.
Anyone else wishing to address the council?
Mike Teeter, Atwater. First off, congratulations to the two that just made council. Personally, I'm one that's all for this special meeting. There's so much crap that's gone on with this city under cover of, and we all know, my plight, my story. But I think what you guys are doing is great. Turn the flashlight on, shine the light. Let's clean this city up. Let's make the citizens happy to hear Atwater in the news again instead of cringing every time we have a newspaper article about people being arrested because they had signs in their front yard or, you know, whatever the case. I'd like to see you council people get more, maybe more in tune to your employees. I know that probably would have saved the city 2 multi-million-dollar lawsuits that you guys are facing right now. Maybe get a new city attorney that advises you guys not to do something instead of do it. It's okay. We got more money than that person does. Because I know you guys all love the city of Atwater. That's why you guys put in the time. You know, Mr. Pedro's been here forever. You know, he's done good. He's going to be retiring. Hopefully, you know, Mr. McBride will be able to come in there, whoever you guys decide. But, you know, you guys aren't conventional like what we've had before. Maybe kind of like the elections we just had for president, you know. But I wish you guys well, and all you council people. And I think we all want to see our city get back up to something that we're all proud of. Thank you.
Anyone else? For the gentleman just entering, we are still under council, or under comments from the public. Is there any comments that anyone wishes to make? Next agenda item.
Closed session. Adjourn to conference room A. Conference with labor negotiator, Government Code Section 54957.6, agency negotiator, City Attorney Terpstra and Deputy City Attorney Henderson, unrepresented employee, the city manager. Conference with labor negotiator, Government Code Section 54957.6, agency negotiator, City Attorney Terpstra and Deputy City Attorney Henderson, bargaining units, unrepresented, and AFSCME Local 2703, Council 57, mid-management, miscellaneous, and clerical units. Conference with labor negotiator, Government Code Section 54957.6 and Government Code Section 54957B1. Agency negotiator, interim city manager McBride, public employment appointment title, acting police chief.
Are there any members of the audience that wish to comment to any of these items for closed session?
Linda Dash, Atwater. Just one question item on your closed session. The third item, you reference acting police chief. I believe that you don't have acting anymore. You have a permanent. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Adjourn to closed session, conference room A. Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being so patient. As you can well imagine, it was a long and arduous discussion back in closed session. And at this time, I'll have City Attorney Terpstra report out of closed session. Mr. Terpstra.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the council and public, thank you. The first item was conference with labor negotiator regarding the interim city manager position. On that item, the city council it was moved, seconded, and approved to affirm the hiring of Scott McBride as the interim city manager pursuant to a contract which was also ratified by the council. A copy of the contract will be available for public review. We'll make it available on our website, and then you can also come down and request a copy of that contract. The second item that was discussed was with conference with labor negotiator regarding bargaining units, and they are listed on the agenda. That item was continued with no action by the council. The third item was conference with labor negotiator, and this relates to the acting police chief, and by that what we mean is the position of police chief during the time that Chief Sam Joseph is at the FBI Training Academy in Virginia. That's about a 9-week commitment. He will be absent from his position here, at least in person, and so the council was briefed on that aspect of things, and staff will separately convey information to the acting city manager, Mr. McBride, on January 1st when he takes the position, and the decision from that point on will be made by Mr. McBride. I think it's the only closed session items that we took action on. Other than that, staff was just given direction.
That is correct. Okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Raymond, recognize you for making a motion.
Motion to table items 1 through 6 for discussion at a later meeting.
Second.
Okay, so motion and a second for deferral of items 1 through 6 to a later date. Is there any other discussion on these items? If not, call for the question.
Creighton?
Yes.
Viera?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Vineyard?
Yes.
Price?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to, before adjournment, just make the statement that the past 24 hours there's been a lot of, how should I say, contention and what have you, things that obviously have not reflected well with respect to the city and perceptions on how business is conducted or how things are going at this present time. I want to reassure the public, I want to reassure the council members and everyone else here that from this point forward, those things have ended. That things that have been said, things that have been perceived are in the past. We are a council that is coming out, that is united, and that we are going to move forward with the business of the city. We have too many items staring at us at this present time, dealing with finances and numerous other things that are going to have to be addressed. And distractions such as what we have seen over the past 24 hours are not in the best interest of the city, and nor will they be tolerated and conducted in that manner from this point forward. I want to make every effort as mayor to assure everyone here that we are a solid team. We are moving forward. We are going to address those things that are going to make this city what it is and what it will always be, the best that there is, the jewel of the valley here, and that we are not going to allow distractions like this to come forward at any other time. It is really with a heavy heart that I say these things, because the point is this. I've been following this city council, as many of you may know, for probably a good 21, 22 years. And the events that had transpired made me think of those dark days that we had some years ago. There was division, there was divisiveness, there was anger, there was every kind of negativity that you could possibly muster. None of this makes for the city to move forward and accomplish those goals that we all aspire to. So let me be clear that this council has come out. We are ready to move forward. We have a lot of challenges to tackle at this point, and that we are not going to allow any more distractions from this point forward to get in the way of the duties of which we are all responsible for to all of you and the 30,000 people in this community. So let it be clear, we are a united team and we're moving forward. Is there any other questions or comments from the council at this time?
I have a comment.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
I want to be the first to congratulate Scott McBride on his interim city manager position, and very excited for him and very excited to be working with him in the very near future.
Absolutely. Okay, if there are no other comments from the council, I'm sorry. Petro.
Thank you, Mayor. I would also like to congratulate Scott. The city's in great hands with Scott McBride. I've had the pleasure of working alongside of him, along with other staff members, for the last 4 years. He is just absolutely astounding in regards to his knowledge. The city's in great hands. I also want to, I happen to be in closed session, and I also want to thank each one of these council members in here for resolving their issues. It was a little tough to begin with, but they've resolved these issues, and they're all going to move forward to make this city a better place, and that's what they're all up here for. So I want to thank and commend each one of these council members. And again, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to serve as your city manager and police chief for the last 40 years plus. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I, too, I want to echo, you know, there's been numerous occasions, and I think I mentioned this last Monday, that Gina Del Real and Scott have been just an absolute wealth of knowledge on, you know, the laws and things that pertain to the management and this and the running of the city, and just a whole variety of things. And without them, this really would be a very, very difficult job. So I want to add my personal thanks to that, and also for Frank Petro for handing over to them a city that's the best in the valley as far as I'm concerned. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching at home.